All right, we have a special video today. We
Yeah.
have our love child in here, Alex Tompkins Loebner.
Yes.
He is a junior,
He took his father's name.
and his looks, that's why he's so dreamy. All right, so this is Chapter 5, Section 5, Parliament limits the English monarchy. What's happening here?
Oh, it looks like somebody's getting their head chopped off.
That somebody is...
It looks like it could be Charles II.
It's not, though.
First.
Oh, the first. I always get those first, second, thirds, fourths, fifths
I know.
confused.
Fun
All
fact,
right.
Charles I was 5'6" at the beginning of his kingship, and then he was 4'8" at the end of it. Why is that?
Because he lost his head.
Yeah, to an axe.
Do you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
I did not know that.
What? You never saw Jerry Maguire? Crazy.
Oh yeah. Show me the money.
Show me the money. That's what Queen Elizabeth said. Parliament, show me the money.
Good one. All right, Queen Elizabeth fought with Parliament. There's a long history of that. Kings and queens want power. Parliament, they don't want to give it to them. King James, who was her cousin, became the king after Elizabeth died in 1603. Speaking of King James.
King James I of England loved hunting so much that he would not leave the saddle, even to go to the bathroom. The king just went in his pants and had the servants clean him up after he got home.
Lucky.
Wow.
I'd like to wipe the royal hiney.
I do that every day anyways.
Like Tyler's right back there.
I got some toilet paper in the back if you
Yeah,
had a little
nice.
accident during this.
Is this King Charles before or after they cut his head off?
I hope it's before.
Yeah.
Although that beard is
Pretty sweet.
Probably should have gone to Russia and get that thing cut off.
All right, tell me about Charles and Parliament.
All right, same thing with Queen Elizabeth. We're in that section of absolute monarchs. Charles twice gets dissolves Parliament because they refuse to give him money, and he wants to fight wars, and in order to do that, you need money. So he figures, well, I'll get it from the government. And Parliament is continuing to refuse Charles's wishes and his request for money, and they say, we'll give you the money if you sign this document called the Petition of Right. And essentially what it's saying is, here are the basic 4, rules we want you to follow as king. So stop imprisoning subjects without due cause, meaning you can't just take somebody because you think they did something wrong. No taxes without consent, so no taxation without representation. No housing soldiers in private homes. So back then, during wars, they would say, here's the soldiers, they have to stay in their homes, and they wouldn't ask permission of the people there. And no martial law during peacetime. So
Okay.
essentially giving the king some rules, guidelines to follow. He can't just be an absolute monarch forever and always get what he wants.
And this is really important because now we have the idea that the king is not above the law, and that's something we hold here in our country with our presidents.
Yeah.
Like Richard Nixon was going to be impeached. He broke the law, and he had to quit because of it.
Exactly, and that's still something that we can do today. If you're not happy with something that's going on, you have a process to make change.
That's right. But Charles, of course, will ignore the petition,
Yeah.
gets rid of Parliament, and starts fining people arbitrarily.
Because he's still kind of an absolute ruler.
Yeah,
So.
I thought you were going to say something else that started with an AS. All right. So that brings us to the English Civil War.
We all know what a civil war is, right?
One country is fighting itself.
Yep.
So Parliament passed laws to limit the royal power. Charles tried to arrest their leaders, but they escaped.
Yes.
So those loyal to Charles were known as the Royalists, or Cavaliers,
Ooh, that's
because
a-
I want to be royal.
I was thinking Cavaliers, isn't that a basketball team?
Yes, right. And they have King James. Now he's back.
Oh, yeah.
Hate the Cavaliers.
Oh, that was good.
Ah.
Good reference.
Yeah. Supporters of Parliament were called the Roundheads because they wore their hair short.
Essentially a bowl
over
cut,
their
guys.
ears.
Bowl cut,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Here's a picture of the Civil War.
Wow.
Ooh. General Oliver Cromwell is going to win the war for Parliament, and poor King Charles will be captured, brought to trial for treason, found guilty, and sentenced to death.
He was actually the first monarch, while still in power, to be executed.
All right.
Yeah.
So ironically, the people of England have a civil war because their king has too much power. They win the civil war. Oliver Cromwell is the leader. He becomes a military dictator and has more power than the king.
Exactly. Because now he has full use of the military,
And there is Oliver Cromwell. Nice stash, kind
I
of
was
like
just
Peter
going
the
to
Great.
say, what is it with the creepy mustaches?
I like it. Charles II. Alex, you know anything about him?
Yeah, I think we need to take a little bathroom break, guys.
King Charles II of England fled to Oxford in 1665 to escape the plague. People of Oxford thought the king was a royal slob. English historian Anthony Wood wrote about the king and his entourage in his diary. Although they were neat in their apparel, they were nasty and beastly, leaving their excrement in every corner, in chimneys, studies, coal houses, and cellars.
What's excrement?
It's poop.
It's poop.
It's poop.
With-
It's poop.
Okay.
Pretty much poop.
I like that. All right, so that's Charles II, but he did more than just poop in chimneys.
And ruin people's houses, apparently. That's so disgusting.
How does burning poop smell?
Probably not good. Let me leave some on your doorstep this weekend.
Nice.
You can tell me, all right?
Make my wife answer the door. All right, tell me about Charles II.
All right. Well, after Cromwell, and just as a side note, Cromwell got rid of the monarchy, and he had very strict laws under his reign. He was almost like the moral police. I think he was very religious. He got rid of drinking and things like that. But Charles comes in, and some of the key events under his reign: habeas corpus. Anyone take Latin? Anyone? Gives every prisoner the right to have charges that are against him read in front of people, because remember, before, Charles I would just take people, put them in prison, even if there wasn't a formal charge against them.
Okay.
Political parties, we see the Tories and the Whigs. Those are some crazy names. Think of like Republicans, Democrats today. So we see a division within the political process.
That's what I need, is a wig.
As a Whig, yeah.
We're filming, ladies.
Gotta wait a second. So,
Strangers.
the Glorious Revolution. Glorious because it was bloodless.
So that's the overthrow of King James II, and that's Charles II's. Is it his son? Is that a typo there on the screen?
Wait a second. Let me
think
see
it's
here.
his
Let me
son.
refer to my notes. No, it was his son. No, his son. I have Charles II's son.
Yeah, I screwed up.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, no.
It's ruined. All right.
right.
Well, King James II is a Catholic, and if you guys remember, we've talked about the Protestants and the Catholics in England and how much of the problem that was.
Back and forth, yep.
So he's a Catholic. He gets rid of Parliament, and he has Catholic sons, and they're worried. Well, when they're going to make this country Catholic again, but James's daughter Mary was a Protestant. Her husband was William, also a Protestant.
Yep.
So James realizes he doesn't want to die like Charles I.
Smart man.
He is going to move to France and give up the throne. William and Mary take over. But in doing so, they agree to a Bill of Rights. So this is kind of like a turning point in English history. Now the
Yeah.
people are going to have a lot more power, including Parliament.
So the constitutional monarchy head by a king or a queen, and then the term constitution, talking about a set of rules or laws or guidelines. So the king or queen, like we said before, is not above the law anymore. And the Bill of Rights, protecting the rights of the people. So that way the whoever's in charge can't become an absolute ruler anymore.
All right. So that pretty much wraps it up. I'd like to thank our special guest star. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right.
All right. Sounds like our first couple videos. We're done.
Have a crappy weekend.
Ooh.